Show us your tips for progroupracing.com.au. The first midweek preview of the year. Dagster flying solo this week with the Beaver away at the beach. Having a look at midweek racing from both Warwick Farm and Caulfield. Good tracks at both. Lovely drying hot day in Western Sydney today, so anticipating good track at Warwick Farm where the rail is in the +5. So potential for on-pace, bit of on-pace bias potentially. There was a meeting there about a month at the start of December, actually, where it's a little bit up and in, but we'll see how we get through the day. We'll kick off in the first over the 1400 for the 3-year-old girls, where Comporter is favourite, coming off its debut run, chasing home Virgo at Canterbury. I think it probably showed exactly what it has to offer there. It was good enough to win a race like this, I would suggest. Not a lot else here. Shivani's been out to Newcastle, and Canterbury can tie that in through tight ropes, who Comporter beat home. Market's probably right. So in the first, Comporter on top for me. Interesting, they've resumed Loveland at 1400 this prep. It debuted first prep at Kembla over the 12 and it gone straight to 14 here. First up, second prep. Maybe the danger there for me. So, but race one, number one, hopefully to kick us off in a bit of style at Warwick Farm. Into the second race of the day. The 1400 metres for the boys this time, where I have got Law Party on top. Nice debut again at Canterbury, chasing a Majorati. Pretty stylish horse, I thought. Not totally suited by Canterbury. He stuck a bit wide there. Ended up covering a fair bit of ground. I think coming here, getting probably a run from gate 3 on leaders back. Josh Parr should control the pace and should be very hard to beat. Danger cash register, I think. Big loping sort of horse, and chased Arso on last week. In fact, so quick back up here. Dry track, I think, suits. Looks like a big, long striding sort of horse, and I think at about $8.50 is a reasonable each way play away from the favourite here. But two on top from one on top again from 2 cash register. Let's get into the third of the day at Warwick Farm. So wait for my laptop to refresh, and while I'm doing that, I will also mention progroupracing.com.au. Check them out for their free tips and extensive guides. Here we go. Get to this one here, which is the benchmark 72 over the 1,000, where the same colours are prominent, I think. Shadow Bridge should sit close enough to the pace here in a weekish sort of 72 over 1,000 metres. Regina Kozanov always gets out and flies, and I think can lob straight in the back. Around $9 is a good bet here. Again, coming through Canterbury form, where a lot of this race is, but chased home Triple Ace, who went to town and just missed behind Malkovich on the weekend. And I think on top for me, around $9, a nice price. Kalapari trialled okay, and you could trialled quite well at Newcastle, actually. And Brazen Pine back in grade here. Tommy Berry Gate 1. If it's ever going to win a race, is prep. The line's there through Triple Ace, which Shadow Bridge obviously got closer to. I think Shadow Bridge is a better bet at $9 for me. Race 4 kicks off the quaddie. Not an easy quaddie day by any means at either venue. I don't like this race at all. Benchmark 72 for the mares, 4-year-old mares and up, which is less than inspiring racing. Yeah, Reece Jones on Having Fun doesn't overly interest me. It's a race guys potentially could be up to its eyeballs in, but doesn't win, and it's CJ Graham. So for the sake of a bet here, I actually have something each way at a big price on Red Hot Chili Pins resuming. 20, it's over 20s at the moment. Could entertain. It's run quite well here in the past. But likes it, not a bad idea. And Wild Sheila, just nothing in the race you really want to get near. So at the 20s, Red Hot Chili Pin number 8 for me. Very small bet, if any, though. Let's get on to the 5th over the mile, which is this time for the another benchmark 72, I should say. Is this the Rising Stars race? No, there we go. No, the girls one was the benchmark 72 for the girls was the Rising Stars. This one is the Warrior Wairiri Falls race, who I'm putting on second here. But Mubaris was dominant last week. Quick back, ran through line, dominant, beat up most of the ones it's facing here. Quick back up onto the dry. If it matches that again, can run well. The only arguable downside is you're going Tommy Berry to Kathy O'Hara. I I'm thinking that's probably just because Tommy's got the relationship with where he falls. But Kathy's riding pretty well at the moment, to be honest. So on top around the $4.80 looks a decent bet from the Waller stablemate is the only danger. Race 5, number 2, Amuba is one of the better bets today, actually. The more I think about that. A race where there isn't any better bets today is the 6, the 4-year-old and up, benchmark 72. Again, the older horses leave you a bit uninspired in these sort of races. Awesome Lads come back winning form. It's top of the market. 2 from 2 this prep since it's gone to Jason Deemer. I suppose, the market's about the right order, just looking through. And I suppose it goes on top by default, but not a race I'm overly keen to play. And I'm not really that keen to talk much more about. So we'll get to the last, race 7 over the 1,200 metres. Benchmark 72. Couple of key scratchings here, which leaves with me, Vernelli on top, going from Kathy to Tim Clark, gets control of this race out to the 1,200 metres, back in distance, actually, back to the dry, I should say. And with the main pace coming out of the race as well in deference, he's a hot shot to be pretty close. I think can lead and probably be very hard to run down if especially if on pace is the place to be. The Waterhouse horse, Vernelli on top. From obviously he's a hot shot. I know it's got the taint of the I Am Vinny race in its form, but ran okay chasing all-time legend up the inside last start. Now starting to get deep into its prep, but tends not to be a problem with the Baker stable. Main danger, I suppose. So that's the quick run through the thoughts at Warwick Farm. I'm going to make my best of the day at Warwick Farm. Law Party, race 2, number 1. And my value of the day, it'll be the same colours for Mark Newmham, Shadow Bridge in race 3. As we head down south to Caulfield, midweek racing at Caulfield, a twilight meeting again, so late start there. I believe it's a 20 to 4 kickoff, so a few bets late in the evening after work over a beer for a few people, and hopefully there's a few winners there. More benchmark racing, so hard to get massively excited about stuff. Kicks off with a 2-year-old race, and hard to really stamp anything when there's a couple of unraced Godolphin horses here and a nice trialer in Lady Audrey. I thought Crazy Ladies was good on debut, coming from last and chasing home Picaronis at Caulfield on Boxing Day. But hard to stamp, as I said, when you've got 7 unraced horses in the field. So no massive stamp here. The maiden race 2, though, over the 1,100 metres is a bit easy to pull apart, I think. And All Stardom's been good, both starts in its career. It just been nabbed twice in a line. Should roll forward here under Jamie Carr, coming through a pretty strong maiden where it had to do a bit of work and still held on to run 3rd. And before that, Mornington the same, just got nailed on the line. I think gets control. Caulfield will suit here. Jamie Carr, we all know she's flying. So All Stardom on top around the $2.40, $2.50 mark. Reasonable enough. Medic is probably the other each way play for me. I think it chased quite nicely last start. Mickey D, obviously no problem backing him. And it had to really come across heels. Not a lot of luck at Stony Creek when it resumed, but I think just showed it's a bit of a line chaser and the main danger in race 2. Race 3, some more, we know the form line better with Jess Malcolm, who beat home All Stardom last start, so we know how that lines up for the maiden over the 1,200. I Am Thunderstruck is the favourite and looks a likely type. At a jump out, ran quite well, just untested, cruised up outside lead and went on by and won the jump out nicely there. Beast looks like that. He's a big boy. Don't quite know where he fits. He led up a trial in Sydney and then was, I thought, just okay through the line. Last trial in Sydney, now has gone down there. I'm thinking probably looking for dry track. The speculation there, $10, but hard to really stamp anything outside. If I Am Thunderstruck brings its jump out form, probably wins this race. And we might say afterwards at $4 is a nice price. The tough sort of 64s are the next few. But this over the 1,000 metres is one that I'm actually pretty keen to bet in. The resuming Fredrick the Dane cruised around to jump out on Christmas Eve. Last prep was locking horns with the likes of Montesira, Valenquenta and Portland Sky. That's all better than benchmark 64 stuff. Nice jump out again. Resumes here, outside gate, plenty of pace here, and outside gate should be able to roll across, fit in a nice spot, and probably, I guess, my best bet of the day across both venues, really, Fredrick The Dane. I think $4.60 a great price. If it is indeed as good a horse as I think it is, potentially, looking at a listed grade sort of horse, it'll clean these up, and I think you're getting a nice price to find out. On top from me quite easily. Benchmark 64 again over the 1800 metres. Perennial seems to be just that in this show. I seem to mention her all the time. She's been up forever. She's locked horns if it's a done deal. A few other nice horses on the way through Derby's trials. Now comes back to 64 grade and chased home White Hibiscus and beat the rest of the field convincingly last start 3 weeks back. Bit freshen up again for this. Obviously, White Hibiscus disappointing in the weekend, but it was back like it was unbeatable. I'm not quite sure of the fallout there. It was back from $2.25 into what was nearly $1.50 by the time it jumped. This chased it quite nicely through and was clearly the best finisher. And I think this is a very winnable race for it. I think Perennial on top from me. Obvious danger, Evie Girl, who's found a new lease on life with Matt Laurie, and Noel Kilos coming off a big weekend, so he's back in form as well. So danger there. The sixth of the day. Another 64, this time over the 1,200 metres. This is the toughest race of the day. Big field, even bunch, which is why I've defaulted to the 3-year-olds here. Stormy the Seas is one of those girls. She sat 3 wide at Mooney Valley chasing Malicorn, who went to town on Saturday and ran quite well. Did it very tough and was still able to hit the line okay. So I think at around $8.50, great bet. Stormy the Seas for, again, Jamie Carr. Diamonds in the Sky, the Moody stable, double figures coming off the maiden win, and probably fits in here where there's a few, more exposed horses at the top of the market. And obviously the 3-year-old for Philip Stokes fits in as well. Disappointing last start in Adelaide, but he's got a pretty good striker when he comes here. But on top, for only $8, great price again, Storming the Seas for Jamie Carr. Race 7, we keep going with some more benchmark racing. We get to the 70s now. Over the 1,200 metres, tough race, and the second toughest race of the day, I'd say. Starting here, let's have a look. Well, Dirty Deeds is a perennial in these sort of races. Goes very well fresh. One of Beavers. It's here to run well. But on top for me is Charlize, who in her lifetime has tangled with the likes of Loving Gabby, Microphone, some nice horses. First up, last prep, beat Hidden Legend, who we've seen resume recently and win, and Fundraiser, who's come back flying. Booking Mark Zara is a key booking, and I think $7, great each way bet. I also had 3 looks at Scottish Road at the top. It's probably one of the weaker races it's been in for a long time. So kept going back to the double figures. So I'll probably have a saver there. Let's wrap up the day with benchmark 70 again over the 1440. Open affair. I'm going to spec Harder Croissants here, around $5. Last start was in the All-Star Mile. Did start in 90s, but went around in the All-Star Mile. Pulled up lame, went straight out and had a long spell, an 8-month spell, which, maybe it might need this run, but interesting. They've decided to kick off at the 1440, so I'm tipping will be almost ready to go. Before the All-Star Mile run, was chasing home Pretty Brazen and Conqueror in the Sandown Guineas and had a couple of nice city wins, city runs before that. So I think it, again, in a benchmark 70, is here to run well. King Magnus Flying will lead. It was just nabbed late in town last start. And, will run well again if Caulfield's shooting on paces. Obviously the one to beat. And I guess that wraps up the thoughts for midweek racing from Caulfield. For me, my best of the day down there is Fredrick The Dane. My value is Storming the Seas, and I probably should do a Caulfield quaddie. This is a tricky day for the quaddie, but we might try and be smart and see what we can jag here. Leg 1, I'll put just the 2 in, 5 and 8, Evie Girl and Perennial. Leg 2, we'll go with the 3 odds, as I said. 13, Storming the Seas, 14, Shizuki, 15 if it gets to run Diamonds in the Sky. And we'll throw in, where are we here? No, we'll do that. And we'll throw in Run Sis, Lightly Race Run Sis number 4. 7th of the day, we'll go with 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll come home with 2, 4, 5, and 12 to wrap up the quaddie at Caulfield. And my thoughts on midweek Wednesday racing, late start tomorrow at Caulfield and Warwick Farm. Good luck, punters. Check out Pro Group Racing, as I've mentioned many a time, and they do a fantastic job with their news articles, tips, and some oncoming form guides and plenty of exciting stuff coming in 2021. Other than that, good luck for the rest of the week, and we will see you for Magic Wednesday. The Beaver will be back off the beach. Nice and tanned, I assume. His bald head will probably be glowing as he joins me on Friday for Magic Wednesday. So look forward to that, punters. Good luck, and we'll see you shortly.